Hello, welcome to this Joyful Living series. In this video, I want to share with you some of the ways you can love and appreciate yourself even better. One of the most important needs that we have is to be loved, especially by people that matter to us. We do a lot to attract people's attention, to win their appreciation, and to be loved and appreciated by them. And if possible, to feel like an indispensable part of their lives. To be loved by others is important, but more important is to be able to love oneself. This sounds easy, but loving oneself and doing that right is not always so simple and so easy. Think about the mirror. Each time you visit the mirror, there are things you wish that could be different. Maybe the wrinkles, or spots here and there. Some people don't like their complexion, or their height, or their size. It is the same about other areas of a person. There may be things you find difficult to accept about your look, about your way of doing things. This is the first step towards lack of self-confidence. If unchecked, you may find yourself imitating others rather than boast your self-esteem and get comfortable with the features and attributes that are yours. The world, as we know, is full of imitations and copying. We sure do feel like being someone else because we think that the person is more successful, more intelligent, beautiful, appreciated, or happier than us. So you have all kinds of beauty makeups, enhancing materials to make you look great and beautiful and become some Superman or beauty model that exists in your mind. But the truth is, nothing can be greater than the best version of yourself. And yourself is not just your body, but the totality of your person, your capacities or attributes, consciousness, and all that derive from your being part of a culturally established form of social relations. Everything that makes you the person that you are. Loving oneself is the basis for loving others. If one cannot love and appreciate oneself, it will be very difficult to love and appreciate others because no one can give what he or she does not have. Loving oneself begins with self-acceptance, which has a lot to do with self-knowledge. You can hardly love what you don't even know. It is only then that one can build self-esteem, without which it is difficult to fully appreciate oneself. Right from the ancient times, people have developed techniques that help at improving self-knowledge, ways to improve on self-confidence by increasing self-esteem. Appreciating oneself begins with understanding the uniqueness that makes you an individual. The Bible has it that God made each of us in His own image and likeness. Each person is therefore a unique expression of God. You are a special way that God wants to manifest His existence on earth and to realize particular purposes that no one else can. That is why He allowed you to be conceived and brought to life by a particular parent, born in a given environment, at a particular time, and under a given circumstance. Besides, God gifted you differently from others because He made you for a special purpose. In that case, you already have everything potentially within you which you only need to discover and develop to become that best version of yourself. There's one thing that you are better at than others, and that is being you. This is the only game you can really win. When you start with this mindset, the world begins to look differently to you. This does not mean that you don't learn from others. You can always learn something good from others, but you must be able to adjust it to fit your own person. Otherwise, it will never fit. Even when you undergo the same situation or experience with someone else, your own interpretation of the experience is always different, giving your own unique person that is the product of your own unique history. We see that often with Bible characters. People who give the same message of God, but in different ways, giving their situations, but also giving their own persons. If you look at the event described in 1 Samuel chapter 17, verses 38 to 40, you will see the different approach taken by David when Saul tried to dress him in his own tunic so that he could go and fight Goliath. And I read, "Then Saul dressed David in his own tunic. He put a coat of armor on him and a bronze helmet on his head. David fastened on his sword over the tunic and tried walking around, but he was not used to them. 'I cannot go in this,' he said to Saul, 'because I am not used to them.' So he took them off. Then he took his staff in his hand, chose 5 smooth stones from the stream, and put them in the pouch of his shepherd's bag, and with his sling in his hand, approached the Philistine." Under normal circumstances, you don't go to fight a champion taking just stones and a sling in your hand. And Goliath noted that in his reaction. David had his experience as a shepherd, one trained in the open field with the flock of his father. He had to confront bears and lions that attempted to snap his flock. But he needed not to dress himself like a soldier to do that. Besides, he had never had the experience of fighting a war like Saul had. What made David in this particular instance special is that he understood that he is David and not Saul, and therefore cannot fight as the David that he is while wearing the armor of Saul. If David had allowed himself to be clothed in the tunic of Saul, the weight of the tunic would not allow him to do what he ordinarily knows best to do. Loving yourself begins with discovering who you are. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What is your life history? And how does that make up to who you are at the moment? Know thyself is one of the Delphic maxims and was the first of the 3 maxims inscribed in the forecourt of the temple of Apollo at Delphi, according to the Greek writer Pausanias. That shows how important self-knowledge was, even for the people of ancient Greece. When you realize that you are a unique image of God, your idea of life and existence will change. Your view about being a model will differ from the popular view. Understanding the source of your existence improves the knowledge of yourself and helps you to understand the reason for your existence. When Jesus was arguing with the Pharisees over his testimony about himself, he was bold enough to declare to them, "Even if I testify on my own behalf, my testimony is valid, for I know where I came from and where I am going. But you have no idea where I come from or where I am going." John chapter 8, verse 14. Jesus was sure of his identity. Though born in a manger by poor parents, he knew he came from above. The poverty around him didn't distract him from his mission. He was certain about his capacities, purpose, and direction. He could describe himself as the way, the truth, and the life, even though people saw him as the son of a carpenter. Even dying on the cross, which was regarded as the worst penalty for criminals, did not undermine the success of his mission. Rather, it was the summit of it. In the same way, your life will get a direction from the moment you understand your identity, your mission on earth, and your final destination. Then you will realize that your existence has a unique purpose. You have something to offer the world that no one else can. With this understanding, you cannot but be filled with a sense of worth, purpose, and joy. You will realize that being true to your identity is the best source of inner joy and happiness because it does not depend on people's opinion. Then you can build up self-confidence, fully appreciate yourself, and love yourself even better. May you discover your uniqueness and grow in the love of yourself and your neighbor. Thanks for watching.